most famous movie monster has to be the vampire. These creatures of the night have plagued cinemas for over a century. And it goes without saying that the most famous vampire of all is Dracula. Being the most well-known vampire, Dracula has seen many cinematic adaptations of the Bram Stoker story, originally published in 1897. One such adaptation is the Hammer horror film from 1958, starring Christopher Lee in the title role. That film is Horror of Dracula. This British-made adaptation of Stoker's novel would be the first of many Dracula films produced by the famous Hammer horror film studio. Christopher Lee would go on to become a fan-favorite Dracula, with numerous sequels that he would appear in. The great Peter Cushing plays famous vampire hunter Van Helsing in this film, and would also reprise the role in further sequels. What really sets this adaptation apart from the previous Universal Dracula films that came before it is its use of color. This is the first Dracula adaptation where we really get to see the blood flow on the screen, and the first to really let Dracula show his fangs. Hammer is famous for having some of the reddest blood ever seen in horror, even to the point of exaggeration. It's a unique trait found in Hammer's studio productions, and even Tim Burton pays tribute to it in some of his movies, going so far as to cast some of the original actors from this production of Dracula in his great gothic film Sleepy Hollow. What I love most about this version of Dracula is the final confrontation between Dracula and Van Helsing. The original Universal Studios production, although iconic, left a lot to be desired with its final act, having a fairly lackluster ending. This film gives us a great final fight between Lee's Dracula and Cushing's Van Helsing. Being only about 80 minutes long, the studio decided to streamline the story of Dracula for this movie, giving Van Helsing a more prominent role and making it a more traditional story of good character versus evil character with a final battle. It's not a bad change, even if they had to omit my favorite bug-eater character of Renfield from the novel.
There, you did it again.
Huh?
You just put a bug in your mouth. I think it was a spider.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
Due to the omissions of the original story, this isn't my favorite adaptation of Dracula, but it is one of the more memorable ones, and worth a watch just for that final fight alone. We get to see Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing in the prime of their careers, and they both make a great monster and hero. While this is mostly Cushing's film as the main protagonist of Van Helsing, Christopher Lee still gives his creepy best with his few scenes as the famous Count. You can always count on him to put the horror in Horror of Dracula.